Hi there. We will look at the concept of fixed LOD and then also see the use case, the application of the concept in this video. In the previous video, which was basically introduction to the concept of LOD, there's one point that I mentioned that dimensions used to create the chart, the visualization, control the granularity of the data in the graph. So when you use more dimensions, the date that means you're going at a very detailed level, you're going at a lower level of detail wherein we have lesser data to aggregate. More dimensions is equivalent to less aggregation, or we can say that we are going at a lower level of detail, zooming into the data, stepping into the data. Less dimensions used means you're aggregating a lot of data. More aggregation, less dimensions means more aggregations. We are going at a higher level of detail here, kind of at a zoomed out level, trying to get a summary kind of a thing. Okay. So if this concept is not clear, please do watch the first video. Then only if you proceed further to fixed LOD, you will be able to understand it better. All right. So what is the definition of fixed LOD? Fixed, what does the word fixed mean in English language? Fixed is something that doesn't change, isn't it? Something that is constant, something that will not change. So that is exactly how fixed LOD behaves in Tableau. You're going to fix the data, you're going to compute something at a certain fixed level of detail, and no other dimensions in the view or the graph that you create can influence the output of the calculation where fixed LOD is used. You're going at a certain fixed level of detail and no other dimensions can influence the output generated by fixed LOD calculation. For example, let's say I'm looking at sales here. This is the overall sales made by the business. How am I saying it's the overall sales? Because there are no dimensions in the view. We're taking the entire data present in the sales column of this particular data connection, right? And then summing up the entire data in this column, all the 10,000 odd records that we have, and the total sales is this. This is the highest level of aggregation. It has not been broken down yet. It is the highest level of aggregation. Now, what will happen when I bring in region? Automatically, Tableau will compute the sales per region. So it's not looking at the overall data anymore. It has granularized the data. It breaks the data per region. Take all the records corresponding to central, figure out what is the total. Taking all the records corresponding to east and then figuring out what is the total, so on and so forth. Now let us say I need this information to be stored as a separate field. I want to store this data that the sales of central is so and so value, sales of east is this much, sales from south is this much. I want these numbers corresponding to each region's sales to be stored in a different field or to be calculated using a formula. How to do that? So I'll go ahead, create a calculated field. Let us call this regional sales. Now, what is the syntax of an LOD expression? The syntax of an LOD expression, I'll put it down here, is this. First of all, LOD is enclosed in array brackets or curly brackets or flower brackets, whatever you call it. Technical term would be array brackets. Then it is followed by the keyword. Once you open it, it's the keyword. Keyword could be either fixed or include or exclude depending on what you're trying to achieve. Then we have dimension declaration. Dimension declaration. So the list of dimension, which could be singular or multiple dimensions, you will provide over here. If it is multiple dimensions, you just segregate the list with a comma. Then there is a colon mark that is to be used as a part of the syntax. Followed by the colon mark, we give the aggregation. And then followed by the aggregation, you give the expression or the field name on which the aggregation is supposed to get applied. So this is the syntax of any LOD expression. Okay, keyword, dimension declaration, colon mark, aggregation, followed by which you can either have an expression or the field name, the field on which this aggregation needs to be applied. the field on which you have to apply the aggregation. Okay, so I need regional sales and I want to compute the regional sales using the LOD expression. So what to do? Over here, I'm going to just put in the keyword fixed, and you can see it is preceded with the array bracket, curly bracket. And at what level of detail do I want to get the sales? Region level. So the dimension is region. The dimension I will use here is region, colon mark. Aggregation is sum. Okay, and the field whose data I want to aggregate is sales. Now we need to remember to close the curly bracket, otherwise it will throw syntax error. Fixed at region level of detail, I am trying to compute the sum of sales. So exactly what will be stored over here? For every member present in this region dimension, sales will be computed and it will be stored internally in this field. So central 501240 will be stored in this field. Visualize it like that. The output of this calculation is equivalent to the numbers present over here. Because when you create an LOD expression, you cannot see it elsewhere. You cannot go and check for the output of that expression in your data pane. It does not appear anywhere. You can only see it by visualizing it, by putting it in a graph. So I brought it into the chart. You can see the numbers are tallying. The result of an LOD can only be visualized when you bring it into a chart. So this is the regional sales that we obtained using our LOD expression. And this is the regular sales which is controlled by the dimension in the view. Why are they both the same? Because both of them are computed at region level. Here in the graph I have region. So this is the sales per region. This one was computed at region level of detail. Therefore, it is showing us the data for different regions. So now how is fixed going to play a role here? Let me take another field. For example, let me take state and place it next to region. Look at the sales corresponding to the dimensions in the graph, the regular sales, the normal aggregated data, sum of sales, which is the normal aggregation. The numbers have changed. Why? Because we have made the chart more granular by adding additional dimensions. Right? When you bring more dimensions, your data becomes more granular. You're going at a lower level of detail, meaning first we stepped into the region. Within that region, now we are going to a particular state and then identifying what is the total sales. Go to the region, into that step into a state and then figure out what is the total sales. What about the result of fixed LOD then? You can clearly see here that this number did not change. It is getting repeated though. So what is the concept of fixed LOD? Is when you compute something using fixed LOD, it remains fixed. No other dimensions that you bring into the graph can influence the output of your fixed LOD. It remains fixed. However, because the chart is at a lower level of detail with more dimensions, it leads to repetition of that value. What exactly is present in our formula? Fixed at region level, we got the sum of sales. So for each region, the sum of sales is stored in the formula, which will not change. It is getting repeated. Why is it getting repeated? Because your graph has additional dimensions, making the chart more granular compared to your calculation. East, whatever number was computed, it is getting repeated. So suppose I bring in city. So now within that state, within a region, we're going into a state. From there, we are going into a particular city, figuring out what is the total sales. You can see the regular sales has changed. It has become much more granular. But this will not change no matter how many other dimensions you bring into the picture. It leads to repetition, but it will not get influenced by the dimensions. So this is the concept of fixed LOD. Now, how is it going to help us in real time? Right? Okay, we understand that when something is fixed, it cannot be changed. But how are those fixed values going to help us? Let me give you one small use case here. Let's say I want to calculate, I would like to check how many profitable and how many unprofitable days did this business experience? In total, how many profitable days did it have and how many unprofitable days did this business have? Now, when you look at the data over here, on 3rd of Jan, we have data starting from 3rd Jan. Let's say only one transaction happened. where the profit is $5.55. Okay, great. Now, when I go to fourth, three transactions, okay, and the total profit made on that particular day will be summation of all of these three numbers. You have to sum up all these three numbers to understand the total profit made on fourth, isn't it? Day level. Now, fifth, sixth. Now, when I go to sixth, lot of transactions have happened. I need to sum up the data corresponding to all of these transactions to understand the total profit made by the business on 6th of January. So I don't need transaction level data. I'm not going at row level. I need to go by day. And in each day, a lot of transactions could have happened. We need profit per day. Okay, so let me just show the chart first. I brought order date into the rows shelf and I will go ahead and customize the representation of this date by presenting it by month, day and year. So 3rd of Jan, 4th of Jan, these are all the days when the business was open. Some transactions might have happened and this is profit. So we know the dimensions in the graph control the granularity. If my chart is indicating each and every day, the profit is summarized by day. Total profit on 3rd, total profit on 4th, total profit on 5th, total profit on 6th, so on and so forth. Clearly, we can see that certain days ended in a loss. On certain days, this business experienced a loss, and most of them are profitable. Good. Now, we need to identify and indicate how many profitable days and how many unprofitable days did this business see. Now, how do I do that? Right? If I can somehow get access to these numbers, that on 3rd the total profit is $6, 4th it is negative 66, 5th it is $5, 6th it is $13.58. If I can somehow get access to these numbers, then I'll put a simple logic. If this number is greater than 0, it is profitable. Otherwise, it is unprofitable. Right? If you see the value to be greater than 0, you will mark it as profitable, otherwise unprofitable. But how do I get access to these numbers? They are present in the graph, but I need them to be stored in a field which I can thereby use in another calculation. How do we do this? I'm going to create a calculated field to replicate these numbers. So profit per day. Now, how do I build a formula for that? Fixed at what level? Order date level means for each and every date present in the order date field, I need the sum of profit. Aggregation is sum. The field whose data is to be summed up is profit. Fixed at order date level, we need the total profit. So for each and every date, for each and every day on which the business was open, the total profit will be computed and those numbers will be stored in this field. Visualize it like this. In your mind, you can imagine it like this, that these numbers, daily profit numbers, are now stored in this field by using this formula. So now that I have these numbers here, I don't even need this chart anymore. I have those numbers here. I don't even need the graph. I got it using the calculation and I have kept it in my, it is stored over here. Okay, but you can't really see it anywhere. You can only visualize it. All right. Now I'll build a calculation based on this field to check whether the day ended in a profit or a loss. What will be the formula? Simple logical expression. If the profit per day that we computed, okay, if that is greater than 0, then I will say it was a profit. It was a profit making day. Else, I will say the day ended in a loss and ended. Okay, if it's greater than 0, it's a profit. Otherwise, it is a loss. Simple logical expression, which I'll take it into the rows shelf. I can see both the words. I can see profit and I can also see the word loss, which means there have been profitable days and there have also been loss making days. Now we need to know how many days were profitable and how many days were unprofitable. How many days are in this bucket and how many of them are in this bucket? How do we get that? Now, if I take order date directly into the text shelf, it will show me the years when we had profits and losses. That is not what I want. I don't want to see the members. I want to see how many days were profitable and how many days were unprofitable. Now what to do? So we'll go here and apply an aggregation on this by converting it to a measure temporarily, we'll apply an aggregation on this, that is count distinct. So I understand that in total, there were 989 profitable days and 247 unprofitable days. Suppose you want to see how many of them from each year, you can just bring order date. You can see in each year how many loss making and how many profit making days were there in each year. And of course, if you want to put some subtotals and all that, you can always do that there. So this is how LOD helps you in real time. This is a very interesting and important use case. Quite often you will come across questions like this to segregate the days into profitable or loss making or high profits, medium profits, low profits, any such thing. First formula will be LOD, followed by that whatever other logic you might want to build using that LOD expression. So this was just one use case. I'm trying to keep the videos short. So I'll stop here. But in the next video, I will cover a few more interesting use cases pertaining to fixed LOD. So if you've understood the concept, if you've liked the way I've explained it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Do hit the like button. Thank you so much.